everyone, this is Kia. I've been thinking a lot about the breath lately because it's the way that the agent, it's the tool, it's the way that we can actually start to master our mind, that we can start to stop the tidal wave of thoughts that can literally take us off course numerous times a day. So the yogis understood this importance of using the breath as a way to calm the fluctuations and the craziness of the mind. Of course, the most powerful breath technique is the simplest. Well, it may seem like the simplest, but actually for many of us, doing a simple, long, deep breath is actually not as simple as it may at first seem, because depending on what's going on in our emotional and mental state, that will be reflected in the way that we're breathing. And so we want to start to begin to regulate and elongate the breath so we can start to put a little bit of a stop in the crazy waves of thought. So let's first look at that long, deep breathing as a technique to begin to gain more control of ourselves on all levels. Of course, the breath also connects to the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, the rest, digest, and the stimulating mode. And when we start to regulate the inhale and the exhale, we start to balance the nervous system, which of course then enables the heart rate to slow down, the mind to stabilize, and we come into a more open and receptive state. So long, deep breathing, really we want to start to access the lower lungs, the mid lungs, and then up underneath the collarbones here. You can think of the lower lungs as like the prime real estate. There's a lot of capillaries in the lower lungs. There's a lot of connections to the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. And then the mid-lungs, really what affects the mid-lungs is our ability to expand and open the intercostal muscles, to begin to widen the chest. And then the upper part of the lungs here, this is how we begin to lift and open and get that final little bit of breath. What tends to happen for many of us is we're only really breathing in this upper part, so we're not accessing that prime real estate. So this would be breath number one, to really expand and open yourself and calm your mind. So just take a couple of deep breaths with me. Close your eyes for a moment, but still listen. And exhale all of your breath out. And bring your hands down to your lower ribs and just inhale into the lower ribs. And then exhale. And then bring your hands to your mid-ribs and inhale into the lower and the mid-ribs. And exhale. And then bring your hands up underneath your collarbones and then inhale into your lower ribs, mid-ribs, and all the way up under the collarbones. And then exhale the breath out. And now count as you inhale into the lower, mid, upper, and count as you exhale, upper, mid, lower. And you would just continue on like that. So that's a long, deep breath. And that really, that mechanism right there is all you need to begin to change the tidal wave of the mind, begin to get a little bit more mental control, therefore self-control. And you'll begin to be able to access that place in your mind that is not in the constant turmoil, but is actually calm. And that's the intuitive mind, and that's when these practices start to get really interesting. So that's part one of having a deeper investigation into the power of our breath. See you again soon.